Good morning. How the devil are you doing this fine day? Me? Well, bit of a mixed bag for me today. I actually won one of my racquetball games last night. One of about 15, I have to admit. But this morning I ache in places. I didn't even know I had places. It's also going to be a very busy day as I'm scheduled to be interviewed by the BBC later this morning before heading down to Worthing to see my sister and to make the final funeral arrangements for my dad. And perhaps all of that is why today's show contains not one rant, but two. Now, without further ado, let me roll the intro, post the question of the day, and get this show on the road. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. It is Friday, the 23rd of September, and as that remarkably predictable and persistent guy just said, welcome to the Breakfast Show. I am your host, Mark Anthony. In today's show, should industry awards reward those that have admitted involvement in the UK demolition industry's bid rigging scandal? We'll come to that in a second. If you're playing away, you might like to try TradeStay. Try saying that with these teeth. The CITB responds eventually to the online competence card scams. We're back on the road to Bauma, and girls just want to have demolition fun. Plus, the anticipation is building as Kobelco shows off the giant demolition machine that will form the centerpiece of its Bauma display. And we will, I promise, get to all of that in just a second. But first, let's see who among the rich and the shameless will be celebrating a birthday on this day of days. Happy birthday! And its many happy returns to Greek playwright Euripides, to the first emperor of Rome, Augustus Caesar, and to Mongol emperor Kublai Khan. You know, the one that decreed a stately pleasure dome. Yeah, him. Happy birthday also to Mary Mallon, better known to the world as Typhoid Mary, former Italian Prime Minister Aldo Moro, jazzman John Coltrane, and to cricket commentator Henry Blofeld, to Italian striker Paolo Rossi, TV presenter Yvette Fielding, and to professional wrestler Matt Hardy. But far more importantly, today marks the birthday of two giants of the music industry, the late, great Ray Charles, and to the boss himself, Mr. Bruce Springsteen. Many happy returns to them, one and all. So, last night, the brewery in London hosted the latest Construction News Specialist Awards. If previous outings are any guide, I'm sure it was a glittering event filled with many deserving winners. I awoke this morning to learn that AR Demolition had been named the Demolition Specialist of the Year. In fact, AR Demolition also won in the Specialist Contractor and the Training Excellence category, so massive congratulations to them. Based on that, I thought I'd take a quick look at some of the names of the companies shortlisted in the demolition category and found that both of AR Demolition's two rivals were among those named in the Competition and Markets Authority collusion investigation, Erith Group and John F. Hunt. Now, I will stress for the record that one of those companies, Erith Group, has denied involvement. However, I kept digging. Both Erith Group and John F. Hunt were among the contenders for the Health and Safety and Wellbeing Award too, while Keltbray, another of the companies that had admitted involvement in the bid rigging scandal, were nominated in the Contractor Innovation of the Year Award and the Net Zero Trailblazer category as well. As it transpires, Keltbray actually won the Net Zero Trailblazer Award. Now, I'm going to temporarily and very quickly gloss over the fact that the Demolition Specialist of the Year Award was sponsored by the National Federation of Demolition Contractors, although I would remind you that all 10 of the companies named in the CMA investigation were NFDC members at the time of the alleged offence. I would also remind you that all three contenders in the demolition category are in fact members of the NFDC. But rather than dwelling on all of that, I have a whole bunch of questions. Just how thick-skinned do you have to be to find yourself in the midst of a bid rigging scandal that has brought the entire industry into disrepute and still enter a national award? How lacking in self-awareness do you have to be to sponsor an awards in which two of the three finalists, members of your own trade body, have been named in that bid rigging investigation, although I would stress once again that Erith Group has denied involvement? How dumb do you think we all are when year after year you sponsor an awards to ensure that only members of your organisation are eligible to win? How do you have the nerve to sponsor an event that is designed to showcase the very best of the industry when you know full well that all 10 of the companies named in the CMA investigation were members of your organisation at the time of the alleged offences? How, as an organiser, do you allow the participation of companies that have admitted involvement in a bid rigging ring that cost the industry £150 million? Now, you'd think I'd be past the point of dismay by now, wouldn't you? But apparently not. So, in for a penny, in for a pound. A week or two ago, Brown and Mason, another of those caught up in the bid rigging scandal and another NFDC member, was named Demolition Contractor of the Year at the British Demolition Awards. To make it even more laughable, Brown and Mason were also a sponsor of the event. Surely it would have been cheaper just to pop down to their local trophy shop and just get one made. We'll be back with something else vaguely NFDC related a bit later in the show.
The Miller GT series heralds a new era of unrivaled power and cutting-edge intelligent coupler technology, increasing job site safety, machine versatility, and productivity. It's the added versatility that you need at the value you can afford. To find out more, visit millergroundbreaking.com.
Back on our Wednesday show this week, we got into a whole discussion about the cost of accommodation for those in the demolition and construction industry that are required to work away from home. As you may recall, the discussion was prompted by a question from a viewer whose employer was paying a paltry £35 a night in subsistence. Well, during that discussion, another of our viewers, Dan Cullen, who is in the chat right now, said he knew someone that had 10,000 properties at their disposal that were actually specifically available to rent for tradespeople. Dan very kindly put us in touch, and I'm delighted that I can now share details of the company in question.
TradeStays are the UK's leading specialists in the provision of accommodation to teams travelling for work and projects. With thousands of partners all around the UK, we are able to provide accommodation to teams of 2 all the way up to 250. Simply register your inquiry and our team will prepare a bespoke accommodation solution based on your requirements that will be close to your work site, fully set up as a home from home for your team, and with the options provided to you within just 24 hours. With a range of properties available from twin-bedroom larger houses for the budget-conscious to upmarket one-bedroom executive flats, we are able to cater to the full range of requirements within our network. Our properties are fully deep cleaned before and after each stay to ensure your team can expect a clean, sanitized and infection-controlled area to call home, helping you avoid disruptions on your project. Instead of spending hours looking for accommodation for your team across multiple sites, let us save you time and money by putting together a solution for any requirement you have. Whether it's a one-off 4-night stay in one place or a team of 200 split between 4 sites for the next 12 months, our specialist team are able to put together a cost-effective solution for any scenario. Simply fill out an inquiry today and one of our team will be in touch with you for a 100% no obligation call to quote for your project needs. TradeStays, your partners for contractor accommodation.
See, there you have it. If you're required to work away from home, you might like to take a look at TradeStays. If you'd like to look at them, have a look over in the chat and you will find a link to that. Now, speaking of the chat, we've had a couple of bits and pieces in on all things related to construction awards. First off, proven bid riggers should not be allowed to participate in any award schemes. Here, totally agree. And Mick then goes on to say, what next in the awards fast? Putin for the Nobel Peace Prize. Stranger things have happened. Now, I need to press a button. I have these things in order. Here we go. We need this one. And we're back to the NFDC again. So yesterday morning, actually, while the show was in progress, I received a message from the National Federation of Demolition Contractors. Apparently, they had been watching our show earlier this month when I was talking about the widespread availability of spurious and bogus competence cards across the various social media platforms. And they had written to the CITB to raise the matter. Well, I've now been forwarded by the NFDC the CITB's response, which I present to you unedited as follows. Thank you for raising your concerns with us regarding the LinkedIn post. We have investigated this and believe this is one of a number of scam adverts that are posted on social media with a view to scamming innocent construction operatives. This is sadly a situation where these scam posts can start up, then disappear randomly before starting up again using a different mobile phone number, which provides anonymity for the perpetrators. The detection and prevention of fraudulent activity is at the forefront of the work carried out by our counter-fraud and quality assurance teams here at CITB, and we very much value input and intelligence provided by the wider construction sector and interested parties. I will be asking our communications team to provide an update on our social media to heighten public awareness of these scams. If you have further concerns regarding any quality assurance or counter-fraud matters, please feel free to contact me. That response actually came from the CITB's Approval and Compliance Manager. Now, a couple of things. The first is that it took the CITB 17 days to respond to the initial report from the NFDC. Given that the CITB is aware of just how fast these scams appear and disappear, you'd think that more than 2 weeks was quite a long while to wait for a response. I guess it also begs the question, if it takes the CITB 17 days to respond to one of its affiliated trade bodies, what hope is there for the rest of us? But the biggest point is this. At no point in that response was there any mention of any action being taken. Yes, they were going to get their social media to raise awareness. And yes, their investigation has revealed this was a scam post. Really? But no actual plan of action to bring the perpetrators to justice. Now, I will say this. I'm often accused of giving the NFDC a hard time. They'll probably think I've done so again today. But in their defense, they did at least try to prompt some action over this ongoing scam, which is more than can be said for the CITB. Now, just one final point before we get back to the fun and frivolity of Friday. Given that the CITB believes it can fight these scams on social media where they live, I checked the CITB's Twitter account this morning. They have just over 51,000 followers. The UK construction industry employs somewhere in the region of 3 million people. So even if every single one of their Twitter followers saw a tweet warning about bogus cards, they will have reached less than 2% of the entire industry. Frankly, they would be better off going to the roof of a very tall building and shouting their warning from there. Okay, I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure where I stand on the film I'm about to share. On the one hand, I'm a vocal advocate for women in construction. On the other hand, I'm not sure that showcasing women that look good in white t-shirts and jeans is the way to go about attracting more women to the sector. But this is a legitimate video from a legitimate company, so just this once, as it's a Friday, I'm going to set aside my own personal feelings and show you this. think maybe I'm just a bit jealous that they get to work at the beach, to be honest. Let me roll this because we've got more to come. The film we're going to be playing out today is longer than our usual fare, but trust me, it is worth it. But before we get to that, let us pull off the hard shoulder, check our mirrors, and rejoin the road to Bauma.
Ubiquitous data access, digital design models, and an increasing level of automation are key factors of future construction machine operation. The traceability of digital information from the initial planning phase throughout the execution of construction work is crucial to gain benefits from digital workflows. Researchers at TU Dresden developed a site execution system to manage the complexity of digitalized and automated job sites. Via interoperable Industry 4.0 interfaces, construction machines can be easily integrated with a vast set of features such as condition monitoring or robotic interfaces. Task descriptions for automated machines, such as design data, virtual fences and trajectories, are transmitted to the construction machines. Real-time monitoring and control of entire construction processes becomes possible. Machine working records and as-built data is linked to the tasks and can be used for project management services. The site execution system is the tool for information aggregation and real-time control of construction sites.
Yeah, it's another one that will likely fall under the microscope of Peter Haddock, who is our technology expert around these places. Peter will be there when Bauma 2022 rolls around. Just to let you know, I want to say a very big thank you once again to our sponsor of that segment, the fine folks at DiggerGuard. If you'd like to find out more about DiggerGuard, you can do so in the chat. And from one Peter to another, regular viewers will know by now that Peter, our man in Kobelco land, is a regular viewer of this show and a contributor in the chat. But I'm about to welcome him onto the Breakfast Show stage properly, and he's bringing with him a machine that will surely be among the biggest stars of Bauma 2022. I'll tell you now, the film we're about to play is 11 minutes long, so I fully understand if you can't stick around for that long. But if you can, I think you'll agree. I think you'll be glad that you did. If you can't stick around, just a very quick reminder: we'll be here again tomorrow morning for the latest and long overdue outing of our Saturday social show, and I'm also going to be here when this film is over for our usual after show party as well. But until then, take it away, Peter.
Good day, my name is Peter Stuit. I'm here today to introduce to you the world's largest building demolition machine, the Kobelco SK1300 DLC. We are introducing the SK1300 DLC in order to anticipate the increasing demand for larger building demolition machines. Kobelco is by far the largest supplier of building demolition machines in the world's toughest demolition market, being Japan. If we compare with aftermarket solutions, this SK1300 DLC is manufactured using the same assembly and testing methods as your standard diggers. In addition, Kobelco is stocking spare parts worldwide for this machine. Powered by a 380 kilowatt, 13 liter, stage 5 compliant Hino engine, this SK1300 DLC base machine is available with 6 boom variations. There are 4 ultra-high boom variations with a maximum pin height of 40 meters with a maximum tool weight of 4.3 ton. There are also 2 attachments for demolishing low structures and foundations with a minimum pin height of -8 and maximum tool weight of 12 ton. While we are looking at a massive machine with an operating weight of 130 ton and a working width of 5.2 meters, the SK1300D is designed for easy transport. There are many solutions to reduce transport weight. For instance, the track frames can be taken off, reducing 15 ton. The main boom and subframe can be taken off, reducing 17 ton. And also the counterweights can be taken off, reducing 21 ton. The minimum transport size is 32 ton with a 3.2 transport width. This machine is meeting all stringent road regulations in countries like Italy, France and Germany. The undercarriage is translifter type. This undercarriage has 4 outriggers that can be controlled by remote control. By means of the outriggers, the track frames can be taken off very easily, reducing transport weight by 30 ton. We're looking at one of the segments of the 40 meter ultra high configuration. The segments connect very easily by means of a hook structure and a hydraulic cylinder. The hydraulic circuits connect by means of a faster coupling. They can be connected by hand, and the smaller lines are using a multi-coupler also for quick and trouble-free connection. The arms of the ultra-high configurations are connected with the next system. The next system is already proven on the SK350D, SK400D and SK550D. It is simple, it is reliable and it is light. It's easy to operate. Let's talk about cooling for a moment. The cooling compartment is at the right hand side of the machine. The cooling system consists of 2 parallel sets of coolers, dedicated coolers for coolant, intercooler, hydraulic oil, air conditioning and fuel. The hydraulic cooling fans are hydraulically driven and reversible. This is avoiding the radiators to get clogged and promoting uptime. At the left-hand side of the upper structure we find the door to the pump compartment. It gives us access to the 2 main pumps, the dedicated cooling pump, pump for the extra circuit and the pilot pump, the pilot filter and the RRR high capacity filter. The machine is equipped with walkways. which give you access to both sides of the machine and to the maintenance area. Here you can easily check fluid levels and service key components like filters, cooling fans and the engine. The SK1300D is standard equipped with an automatic lubrication pump, which is located at the left-hand side. A hose reel is located inside the machine, and with the lubrication system we can reach all the clusters around the machine. Lubrication points are clustered at several places of the machine, like here, there, there and there. This is reducing downtime of the machine. All lubrication points are clustered around the machine except the ones at the arm end, like this one and like that one. The starter batteries are located between the cabin and the hydraulic reservoir. And also the battery disconnect switch can be found here. And this is the location for the window washer bottles, one for the top window and one for the front window. The cabin is demolition specification type cabin. It has pillarless design for excellent upward visibility. Then the cabin is equipped with front and top guards level 2 for excellent protection. About the cabin, the class specification is P5A laminated safety class. The front OPG and top OPG can be opened for easy window maintenance. The wipers, front and top, are parallel type for increased window coverage. Then, last but not least, the operator seat is a heated air suspension type for excellent operator comfort. About safety systems of the SK1300D, there are 4 cameras on the base machine. There is a camera on the right hand side, camera on the rear side, one on the left hand side, and then there is another camera under the counterweight. In addition, in case of ultra high demolition, there are 2 cameras fitted to the arm end with a different viewing angle, and the operator can switch between those cameras and the camera under the counterweight. Like on all Kobelco's building demolition machines, this machine has angle sensors on all moving parts of the boom. On the main boom, on the jib, on the arm and on the bucket. This information is being used to calculate the whereabouts of the working tool and to calculate the maximum allowable working radius, both at the front and at the side. This information is also being used by the cap interference prevention system that stops the working tool from hitting the cabin. I hope you enjoyed the walk around of the SK1300D. I would like to emphasize Kobelco's reputation in the market of building demolition machines. The SK1300D is the largest OEM produced building demolition machine available in the market now, with an operating weight of 130 ton. We have 6 boom variations with a pin height varying between -8 and 40 meters with a high level of modularity. Tool sizes vary between 12 and 4.3 ton. Transport size can be reduced to 32 ton with 3.2 meters transport width. The machine is manufactured using mass production methods. And last but not least, we provide service and have the spare parts available. Thank you for watching and see you next video.
Yeah, many thanks indeed for that, Peter. I trust you all enjoyed that. There are dozens, literally dozens, possibly even hundreds of new machines that are on my must-see list for Bauma 2022. But I have to say that one is right at the very, very top of my list.
Sorry to interrupt the guy with the funny glasses, but if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button as it helps our channel. Or, better still, share this video with a friend or a colleague. Thank you. Right, back to Beardy.
Right, that pretty much wraps up the main part of this morning's show, and it wraps up this week too. But with my wife currently on holiday, yes, again, I have nothing better to do tomorrow. So if you're in the mood for a bit of weekend banter, then I shall throw open the doors of the Saturday Social and welcome you all in. But until then, I'm going to roll the outro in just a second before leaping gazelle-like over into the chat to see what you're all saying today. If you can't stick around, and I fully understand if you can't, then please stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. Have a great day, have a great weekend, and thanks for watching. But if you do have the time and the inclination, I'll see you on t'other side of this.